production, you might be able to have it for opening day. You just might, because that's how much work needed to get done. You may be able to at least be presentable. Well, that turd's gone. It's now just going to be wet and cold and miserable, and no one's going to have bathrooms, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? You can thank politics for that, and you can thank the idiot neighborhood that Wrigleyville is for that. I'm sorry. I would love to live in Bridgeport, especially if I was younger. I would have loved to have lived in Bridgeport and around U.S. Cellular, except I know exactly what to expect. I would expect lots of noise from fireworks, lots of traffic at given points of the day, and lots more noise just from individuals wandering the streets. But I would do it because it's part of the neighborhood and it's that atmosphere and that ambiance. I get it. I'm willing to accept what the ballpark is. I don't know what the difference is with Wrigleyville. They don't want it. I understand it can be that area it could be a very nice family-friendly zone. I'm sorry, it's not really though. It really isn't. There's bars all over the place. You got a rat hole there. I'm willing to accept rats if it was U.S. Cellular. I understand that could be a problem. It's a ballpark. There's lots of food that goes to waste. There's lots of waste around there. I get it.
Like there's rats like everywhere. You live in a city. There's rats. But
exactly.
No, I'm just with you. I think also that they should have started doing all these contingency plans months ago, so they had something set up, so they didn't have to go and be like, "Oh, hey, guy, in the middle of a runoff election, like, hey, we need this. It's gonna piss a lot of people off, but we really need it." Like, I don't know. It seems silly to me. It seems weird for I don't know. It seems like you would, I don't know. Not saying like if I was in charge I would have thought of that, but don't when you own something like a baseball team, don't you like, I don't know, hire the people that is your shortcomings? I don't know. I hope someday I know what it's like to be the owner of a baseball team. But
me too. Until that
day comes, I'll just criticize the owners of the baseball team here that I'm a fan of.
That's our luxury. But I'm with you right there. I said I would gladly sell out U.S. Cellular Field to Cubs fans.
I have no problem. I have no problem.
If it meant dollar signs.
I have no problem. I have no problem with them playing there, because I know people that they shouldn't be playing there. Like so in the Crosstown series this year, I hope the Cubs are like, "No, screw you guys. We're not playing there. We forfeit." Like what? Like how?
Yeah.
Like it's like you didn't have a problem when Carlos Zambrano threw a no-hitter at Miller Park, right? You didn't have a problem with that. Like
that was neutral.
I mean,
remember.
well, that was neutral. That was
Allegedly.
That was because of what? I can't remember which hurricane.
Katrina.
The game was supposed to be in. But it's like, why? I understand, but you didn't have a problem with it. It's just weird to me that people, I don't know, that people don't get over it. Like, you got to get over it at some point. I don't know.
You think you would really think?
Yeah. I'm like, this is how I feel about it. I have no problem with you being a White Sox fan. I have no problem with the White Sox. I would like to see them not do well because I don't want to hear about it, I'm sure, but it's exciting at the same time, kind of, because whatever it is, like, I have friends that are Sox fans. Like, I'm excited for like that's like 2005 had to be the like coolest thing ever. Like, you don't know, like you don't know how much I want that.
I was telling my cousin the same thing, and he's a Cub fan, and I told him I would love nothing would make me happier than to see some of my closest friends, you, Brandon, my cousin, have that opportunity to know what it feels like for a World Series win. But I don't want it to happen to seemingly like just the mass generic population of Cub fans because in most of my own personal interactions, they've all been just jackasses. And it's like, man, it would nothing would make me happier than to see them never win. So I know exactly what you mean by that, and I can understand it's the same way. It would be the same way for for you, or for other Cub fans that have White Sox fans.
I
As
mean,
the
I look at it this way, like, and people like in 2005, people would say, "Aren't you a Chicago fan?" And I'm like, I don't look at it like, yeah, I understand that the White Sox are from Chicago, but they're not like I wasn't brought up on them, so
yeah,
like, what do I care about them? I care about them like I care about the Mets. I care about them like I care about the Cardinals. You know what I mean? It's not my team. Like, so do you ever really want to see your team win? But I'm happy for like friends of mine that get to feel that about their team. But like seriously, are you gonna get like ticked off about that? Man, it seems like such a waste of time, but I don't know. I guess everybody has their own opinion though, right?
oh yeah,
So, but yeah, that's I guess what is the fact that we talked about baseball for so long is that it's just exciting. I mean, it's exciting when your team's supposed to be good.
yes,
I
the unknown, yeah, when it hasn't been
I'm
played
not
and
saying they're
every
going to, but they have a lot of young guys who look like studs.
yes.
And I know they're not all going to pan out. I get it, but it's not like you don't get excited. You know what? Gordon Beckham didn't pan out, but you were so excited about him when he came up, right? You thought Gordon Beckham was going to be like the shit before you actually saw what Gordon Beckham is. And he's not a bad player. I'm not like rapping on him. He does some things really, really good, and he does some things not so good. That's like a majority of major league players. I mean, think about it. Think about like average major league players. Not many teams are like stacked like everywhere. And some guys just don't do stuff good. Like whatever, like get over it. It doesn't it make it like more human? I don't know.
Yeah, it
Anyhow,
is. It
but
it
it's
is. It's the hope. It's the blank. It's the
yeah, it's the
blanks.
hope. It's the hope. It's like and the hope is that that's where you can relate with what they're doing on like like they're all hoping to play baseball every day. They're all hoping to walk in the next day and be in the lineup card. They're all hoping, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they hope for things just like you do, but they just hope for things that are like so much more awesome than what you get to do.
It's a good way to really good way to put it. Let's see. Switching gears, I really want your opinion on what the Bulls are doing and what you think of the Bulls this season.
Oh man, I'm so scared. Wow, we really haven't got to talk to Bulls with anybody lately, but okay, here's what I think, and I actually do. I think I'd say that is something I do pay attention to them a good deal, and actually the fact that they've been like game of the week on Sundays the past like lately, and then between just anything like I do follow them. Um, Man, Mirotic is something special, man. I don't know if you've seen this guy play. He's got some like he's really good.
That's what I'm hearing.
Like
The fact that he's now getting that time to do
well,
it.
the funny thing is because he started to get the time because it was needed. Like Tibbs had to give it to him because he needed players. But
Mhm.
once he got the time, he was doing everything. He was playing his game offensively, but he started playing defense and like committing himself to playing defense. And it's not like he's like gangbusters, but he's like doing what he's supposed to do. So I think that's why the minutes are keeping up and why he's staying on the floor more. They're I don't know. They're not. like I don't know, they can be really good. They're like every Bulls team we've been talking about, for the past 3 or 4 years, except for
Mhm.
they don't play as good of defense as those teams had. That's the way I feel. I feel like they're a total Jekyll and Hyde team.
Oh yeah, yeah. I, I don't particularly find this team very. I don't think they're very good, and I don't think they're built particularly well. I think they've gotten lucky with Miritich being what he is and adapting his game and growing his game to the NBA style, and especially to fit Thibodeau and how he wants players to play. Um, I don't know what I I almost feel like his future may not have the growth that could be he could have is the best way to put it, I guess.
I
Um,
No, that totally I agree with you.
and I what I mean by that is if well for I know you know about this, but there's a lot of ill will and bad blood between the front office and the coaching staff, and no one's on the same
Yeah,
page. The players,
what's the constant with that though? Every coach, every single one is there's a rift. Like go back, Skiles, rift, right?
yeah, yeah,
Vinny Del Negro, for whatever you
idiot.
want to say about him though, whatever you want to say about him though, rift. I mean, there was some kind of rift. Like Vinny's rift was that he just wouldn't fight back, but like I mean, like there's always a disconnect, and it's super scary because I think like you think like back to, and I'm doing total Chicago thing, like let's talk about old championships because we have no new ones, but like the way the Bulls turned into a championship like dynasty, and they had Doug Collins, and no offense, like he's a great coach, but I don't know if Doug Collins is the coach to win you a championship, and that's exactly what they thought because there was some kind of there was just a different thought process going on. And then I think it was like the whole idea of like, I'm the GM, this is what I do, you're the coach, this is what you do. And we saw what happened with Phil at the end, and I think Phil wanted more control, which I think is a natural it's natural for something to happen like that. Like, what do you like if when you get a job, do you go into your job and be like, all right, this is where I'm staying for the rest of my life? No, you want to do something more. Well, most people want to do something more, and you want to get to the next level or some sort of the next level. Like you always want more stuff to do, or you want a better job, you want more pay, you want more responsibility, whatever. Same thing
Mhm.
with all these coaches and stuff. But like, how can you not work together? Like, there's got to be some kind of working relationship where they're on the same page because there's obvious points where it seems that them they're not on the same page with this team. And I feel like you see it with the team.
Yeah, you really do. And I think honestly, I thought it came early. I thought the warning signs were right there, real nice and early for everybody, especially when Derrick Rose was not interacting with Thibodeau one on one. The fact that Rose can't communicate, that's one of his biggest problems anyway. But then Noah was having a go between. I can't recall this doctor or aide, nurse, whatever. I can't recall her name, but she's almost the go-between of like the thumbs up, thumbs down uh, to Thibodeau. And I don't know where specifically his or her loyalties lie. If it's to the front office, which probably is, because they're interested in protecting the players. But on the other side of that, you have one of the better coaches in the NBA who gets more out of his players and produces more out of his players and gets, frankly, his players paid. Uh, into areas that they wouldn't have been paid before. Uh, so
And it's
I
happening
don't.
again with Aaron